Good morning. Well, today I am going to be making my sister's birthday cake. It's her 60th birthday this weekend, and I'm going to be making a birthday cake. I'm making a vanilla cake, which it lasts really well. It can last up to 7 days, actually. It's a really lovely recipe. I'd say it's a little bit between an ordinary sponge and a Madeira sponge, but it's really good. It's very versatile, and as I say, it keeps for ages. So I've already greased my pan. I'm going to line it now with this. I'm going to prepare my pan before I actually do the bake and before I weigh all my ingredients out. Then I'm going to do that, weigh the ingredients out, and then I'm going to make the cake. I'm having everything ready because the method of the cake, you really want everything ready to go, and you'll understand why once you see me make the cake. So I'm going to put the oven on 180, and because I've only got the one pan and it's a big pan, I'm going to do 2 batches. So I'm going to do the first cake. When that's done and cooled and I've taken it out, I shall then reline it and make another one for the top. I don't want to do it too thick because it will take longer to cook and it might not cook evenly. So I'm going to do it in 2 batches, 2 separate cakes. So I'm going to start by lining it. I'm going to do the ends first, and then when the ends are done, I'm then going to put the bottom, which they are. So no, the sides, sorry. So that's looking good. And once the sides are in, then you can put the bottom in. Lovely, that is. And now the bottom sheet going this way. Lovely. So that's my lined tin, and once this cake has baked and cooled and I've taken it out and the tin's not too hot, I can then reline it and prepare the next one. So I plan on making the cake today, and then I'm going to decorate it tomorrow. So I will show you me decorating it as well, but we've got to make it first. I want it to cool completely, and I've got quite a lot on today, so I'm not going to get it finished until this afternoon. So what I plan on doing is making it today, decorating it tomorrow, and I will do it with you, so you'll see. And I've got some ideas of what to do. I've bought these. I've bought those to, what I'm going to do, I'm going to ice around it, and then I'm going to put those around it, unwrapped obviously. And I've also got some little gold balls as well to put round. And I've got some nice little sprinkles that I'm going to put those round as well. So I'm going to start by weighing out the flour, as I've got to combine the dry ingredients first. So I need 300 grams of flour, plain flour. So that's 300 grams of flour, and I need to put 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So that is a teaspoon. Baking powder. Love these. I found that in Tesco's. It's a really, a sort of an old-fashioned tin. You normally get them in like little plastic containers, but I really like that because I thought it was really oldie worldy and I just liked it. So I have written the ingredients down because I can never remember it. So it's 2.5 teaspoons. That's 1, 2.5. There we go. So that's that. And 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So that's salt. But because it's quite coarse salt, I'm going to just rub it between my hands. I have washed my hands, so they are clean, and that's just to grind it down really. There, make it a bit finer. So that's that done. And I think that's everything. Now I just need the eggs. So I'm just going to give that a little stir. So that's there. Now I need 4 large eggs, which I have got here. And they are going to be cracked directly into this because I've got to beat this for 7 minutes. So let's crack the eggs in here. So that's 1. 2. 3. 4. And 300 grams of sugar, which isn't going to go in just yet. I'm just going to weigh it out ready. 300 grams of sugar. There, that's 300 grams. So that's the sugar. And then whilst that's going to be beating, I'm going to be melting the butter and everything. So I'm going to weigh all that out so that that's ready to put in the microwave. I'm going to start with measuring the milk. Now I need 250 ml of milk. Ideally, it would be best if you use full fat milk, but I've only got semi-skimmed, but that's fine. Doesn't really make much difference. So what did I say? 350. 350? 250. There we go. It's 250. And then I'm going to weigh the butter in here because it's going to go in here anyway. So let's make that 0. I've got some softened butter here already. And I need 115 grams of butter. There, 115. That was a lucky. So that's that. And I'm going to whisk this now. So that one's beaten for 30 seconds on speed 6. Then you add the sugar and then you beat it for 7 minutes with the sugar in. So that's when I'll put you down there and let you have a little look. So that's after 30 seconds. Now I'm going to scatter the sugar slowly. So now I'm going to turn this up, beat it for 7 minutes, and in the meantime I'm going to be melting the milk and the butter. So that's had its 7 minutes, sorry. So I'm going to turn that down. Now that has tripled in volume. There, can you see? And that is just eggs and sugar. Now I've melted the milk and the butter, and I've measured the vanilla extract and the vegetable oil, 3 teaspoons of each. So I'm just going to pour those in there now, like that. Give it a little whisk. What's that? And just set that to one side. Now I'm going to add the flour, and I have to add this gradually. Very gentle. It's so it doesn't knock out the air in the eggs. Now I don't know if you remember the cake that I made before. If you didn't see the coffee cake, then please go back and have a look. But this is made completely different to that. You can almost chuck everything in one bowl all together and mix it all together. But this, you do have to do it a certain way. Because otherwise it won't work. So now I'm just going to put the rest in. And that's it. So just as it's mixed, that's it. You have to stop. As soon as it's mixed, you stop. And that's when you start adding the milk. So I'm going to put that back on. Give that another little stir. And pour this in. Just mix that together. And now I can switch that off. And that is done. So I'm going to place you up here and I'll show you the mixture. Just going to place that there. And that is it. So now I'm going to just make sure there's no flour or anything on the bottom. You don't want any flour being left behind, you do want it all on. There we go. So now that is ready for pouring in here. I'm just going to get the rest of it out, put in here. That is done. And now you have to give this a good, to get all the bubbles out, and now that can go in the oven. Make sure that's up to temperature. Yes, it is. So let's put that in for half an hour. There we go. So that can now bake, and we'll be back in half an hour when it's done, and then I'll be making the other one once that's cooled and out to put back in, and then, as I said, tomorrow we'll be decorating. So the first cake is done and out the oven. I've now lined the second tin, and I'm now just whisking the eggs, melting the butter now, and then I'm going to add the flour in 5 minutes. And then that one can go in the oven as well. So this is the first cake. And it looks nice, so it's quite cool now. I'm going to leave this on until the top bit until it's cooled down completely. And now the butter's melted, I think. Not quite, still wants a little bit longer. So, I don't know if you can hear me, hopefully you can. The butter and the milk has melted, the butter in the milk has melted, and now I'm just going to add the vanilla extract and the oil and give that a little whisk again. So it's the same thing really. Like that. And then just put that to one side. Now I'm going to add the flour. And again, just scatter it over. You don't have to pour it all in. There we go. And then once that's combined, then start adding this, the milk and butter mixture. So I'm going to take the greaseproof paper off the top of the cake, and then we can see what it's like. Need to be careful though, because it can tear the cake. There we go. You take it off close to it, if you understand what I mean. My fingers like really close to the cake like that. If you take it off like that, you can tear the cake or pull chunks out of it. So if you do it like this, it does it really well, and you don't tear the cake or take chunks out of it. It's easy to do. There we go. So that's the sponge, that's the bottom layer. So that's that done. Now the other one's in the oven waiting, it is baking. That's done, still cooling down. Once it's cooled, I'm going to wrap it up in some baking paper and put it in the fridge, wrap it in cling film as well. And then tomorrow it will be ready for decorating, and it'll be completely cool and it'll be just perfect for decorating. So I'm going to take the cake out of the oven now just to see if it's done. It won't be a second. I think it might be. So just need to put this in, and it comes out perfectly clean. Look, you see it's in and it's clean. So it's done. So now we're just going to let that cool, then I'll turn that one out, and then I'll be back with you then. So both cakes are done, and I'm just about to tip this one out onto this rack. It's already cooled down in the tin, so that's it there. I'm going to just pull these out first. Again, you want to be careful because you'll be taking chunks of cake out otherwise if you're not careful. And then I'm going to place that on over the top and then tip it over like that. There we go. And this can come off because it's already cool. Well, cool enough anyway. And again, do it very carefully. And that is a lovely, lovely sponge. There. So there they both are, and they'll be sandwiched together tomorrow and then decorated. Hello, I'm back again, and now we are ready to ice the cake, but I've got to make it first, and I'm making a white chocolate buttercream. So I've got my recipe for that. I've just googled that, so I've just got to weigh everything out and then melt the chocolate, and then we can make it. So it says 200 grams of white chocolate, and I'm doubling the recipe, so I'm going to put 400. So, and I'm using Molly's white chocolate, which is from Tesco's. It's only, I think it's just 40 pence, 46 or 49 pence a bar. It's only cheap, and it's quite nice, especially when it's just for this. It actually tastes nice anyway. So we'll be using that, and I'm just going to melt this in the microwave. So this morning I've been to Aubrey's school, and it was to the grandparents' morning. First time they've done it, and they was not expecting the turnout they had, and it was absolutely lovely. She was so excited to see me. Ade wasn't able to go due to work, but I went, so that was good. At least one of us went, and yeah, it was lovely. We got there, and they've got the hall all set out with a table and chairs in, and then they got coffee, tea, cake, biscuits available, and it was all set out nicely on the tables, and it was absolutely lovely. Yeah, it was really nice. I enjoyed that. So I'm just going to pop that in the microwave to melt a little bit, and then I'm going to be measuring out the icing sugar on there. I'm going to measure the butter first because you mix that with the chocolate. So 250, I'm doubling it, so that's 5. So that's... So I'm going to put that in the mixer, and then once the chocolate's melted, that can go in with it. There we go. There. So that's warming up now, so I'm just going to give that a little stir, and it's starting to soften. I'm going to put that back in. A bit longer. So that's still melting, so I'm just going to put it in for a couple of seconds, and then it'll be done. There, look. And that is just melting it in the microwave, and as I say, as long as you keep your eye on it, there's absolutely no reason why you can't melt chocolate in a microwave. You just have to be careful. So now I'm just going to give that a really good stir. Make sure it's all melted, because there's some little lumps in it, but they'll melt. So I'm going to get a spoon and do it with a thing. Because that's quite fine. So 500 I need. 500. There we go. So now I can start adding this. I'm just going to add it slowly. So that is white chocolate buttercream and it looks absolutely wonderful. So I'm ready now to decorate the cake. I'm just, first of all, I'm going to put some butter icing on here, which will help the cake stick to the board. And then just place it in the middle, like that. There. I'm going to start with the jam. I'm going to put the jam on first. And I'm using raspberry jam. Just Tesco's seedless raspberry jam for now. I'm not putting it too close to the edge. Probably need all this actually, because otherwise when I put the top on it will squidge out the sides and then it will show through the icing. So I'm just putting it about 2 centimetres away from the edge of the cake. So that in a minute should be enough. So I'm just going to give this a little wash and then I'm going to put some buttercream on the other side of the cake. Right then, can you see that? Yeah. I'm not going to put loads on, just that I think. And spread that out like so. Yeah, that's plenty on there. You don't want too much because it's going to be covered in it as well. That can go to the edge a little bit more because as I say, it's going to be covered in it, so it'll be fine. So now that can go on the top. then I'm going to just do it on like that. There, that's it. And now what I'm going to do is give it what they call a crumb coat. And a crumb coat is what you cover it in first, a thin layer of butter icing, then you put it in the fridge, and then once it's set, you can then give it another coat and it stops any bits coming through. Because sometimes when you put it on and you're spreading it on, you get little bits of cake come through. I mean, it does really depend on how it covers, but I'm just going to give it a crumb coat first, I think. Right, that's that. So that now can go in the fridge to just harden, and then it can have another coat. I've took it out the fridge now and it's all ready for decorating. I did just whip up a little bit more icing actually, because I wasn't sure if there was going to be enough, and I would rather have a little bit too much because it can go in the fridge. It's lovely and fluffy. Look at that, it's just so fluffy and lovely. So let's get this on the top. So now I'm going to colour two batches of my icing that's left, and I'm going to colour that and just do two different colours and pipe them on as like flowers or something before putting the decorations around. So let's get colouring. I'm not 100% what colour. Pink definitely, maybe purple, or maybe a different shade pink, not sure. Let's have a look. So I've just put some food colouring in there, and I've just done that a nice pink, and then in this one I'm going to put a darker pink. So that was a rose I put in. I just tried a gold in there, but I didn't really like that. It looked a bit brownish. So now I'm going to use a pink, and it'll be a deeper pink, so hopefully it'll look nice together. So that's quite a vivid pink, so that will look nice next to the light rose colour. I think I might put a little bit of purple in this, a bit of violet, I think. Hopefully I won't have ruined it. So let's fill this up then. I think I'm going to do the pink ones first. That's it. I'm just going to put this in here like this. Now, before I put it on, I'm going to use this plate to try some roses, some flowers, to make sure that I'm happy with what I use. Yeah, that's nice. That's it, look. It's not really a flower, it's just a nice, that's nice. I'm going to do that, I think. So that's one there, one there, one there, one there. Go. Hope you like that, and I hope my sister likes it. I know one thing, it's going to taste lovely. It's not perfect around the edges, but it's okay, it's nice enough, and I know it will taste lovely, and I think it looks really nice. So yeah, that's my sister's cake done. So I really hope you enjoyed that vlog. And I put a couple of pictures at the end with my sister cutting the cake, hopefully if I catch it. But whatever, there'll be a couple of pictures of the party and the evening. And really hope you enjoyed that. If you want to know anything that I've done, recipes or anything like that, just let me know and I'll pop it in the description. And as I said, really hope you enjoyed that vlog and see you again next week. Thanks a lot for joining me, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated, and see you next week. Bye. And this is the bar in their greenhouse. It's beautiful.